Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How's everyone doing? For those that are coming in, shout out to you. Let me see who is in here so far. I gotta check my chat. Hey guys, welcome, welcome. I know I just kind of went live, so probably no notifications went out. Let me go ahead and start with my intro as people are coming in. Make sure you hit the like button and drop and say hello. Hey guys, yes, I know I just hit live. Probably no notifications came on. So far, I see 19 people in here. Shout out to you guys. I'm going to start the intro. Hopefully, people will get in here. Hey, everyone. Welcome, welcome. And I'll make sure to greet everyone once we get started. Okay, all right, all right, all right. So make sure, can you guys just let me know you can hear me clearly because I had a member, shout out to her, who said, Rabbit, sometimes your sound is in and out, in and out. Sometimes if I move it or I move it a certain way, it comes in and out. Just let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know in the chat. Just put a thumbs up if you can hear me. Hey guys, all right, I got Bella's World, Mod, Miss Dailies, read this. Who else do I have here? Let's see. Flash in the Pan. I saw him earlier here. Shout out to you, Bella's World. Who else? I'm calling out all my beautiful, wonderful members. Read this. Miss Dailies. You can hear me. Anthony said he can hear me loud and clear. Oh, okay, Matt. I feel really, really good. And shout out to Truth Teller Danny here. Guys, her link to the channel is in the description box. Go check her out. She's been following Shanquella Robinson's case very, just to the T, giving the facts as they are. And we're actually going to get right into it because um, I had the opportunity to sit with Danny Robertson, okay, and the doctor here, who is a forensic medical examiner, who, we sat on this 4-hour interview, and it was very informative, very informative. So much information. I couldn't even keep up with the translation piece. We did our best as we could, right? And then I had baby bunny, so that's another kind of factor in there. Perfect. I'm glad you guys can hear me. Okay. So, where do I want to start first? I kind of want to talk a little bit about Miss Salamandra did a new interview, I believe, with Nightline. So, we're going to watch a little bit of that as well. You have the rally tomorrow, Saturday. And so, it's just different things that are happening here. But one thing I cannot get out of my head, and I'm just going to tell you guys, and shout out to Sean Davy Way. The Sean Davy Way show called it out perfectly today. There is just too much misinformation about this case. It's almost like there are no updates and people are just going to make up the craziest shit. And I'm just going to say it. And I almost feel like, oh my God, like this is a whole different level of tragedy pimping. Right? And I know that if you're in the true crime community, you kinda know that term fairly well, right? This is a new level of tragedy pimping where it's like the truth doesn't even matter. Eh, like every other case, blacklisted, right? Like every other case, the truth doesn't matter anymore. It's more along the lines of like what other salacious things could I put into it? And it's so unfortunate because this isn't reality TV. Shanquella Robinson was a real person. Salamandra, Mr. Bernard, these are real people. And I just feel some type of way about it because I see it like the thumbnails that I've seen, the fake mug shots, the interviewing people that aren't for bringing justice. I don't know. It doesn't help people gotta rely on the Mexican authority. I mean, it's just in obviously blacklisted, like, there's gonna be people that we just can't rely on. Just saying, yeah, much respect to Sean. Sean called it out. Danny is like, I'm, sticking to the facts, maybe bring in an expert that can help out. Totally down for that. You have the plaintiff Jane as well, who's also covering this, calling court TV out for the wrong picture of Shanquella. Like little things like that, that it's just like too much. So then I wonder, like, well, what do you make of it? What do you do with all this? Who do you believe? What do you do? And that's kind of the lines that we're at. I think the other thing that has to be very well noted is that we're not getting a whole lot of updates. We only know as much as what the family can tell us, and then everything else is just being made up. I mean, let me see if I can pull my phone. I could tell you the latest that I've seen that I'm like, that's not true, and that is a stupid ass assumption, and that is pretty fucked up to assume. Let me see what else. And I'm cussing like a sailor, guys, because it's too much, you know? Sorry, because I'm getting all these notifications. Let's see. Let's see. What did I see the other day? Justice has been served. Has it been served to the family? There was a thumbnail that said justice has been served. I said, really? See, I thought justice would be served when you have these people in Mexico, all 6 of them, right? Like, that's how I see justice being served. But I didn't see nothing as far as justice being served, on anything, right? I don't know. I don't mean taken as seriously by law enforcement. I mean taken as seriously by social media. And shout out to you, Bad Apple. I see everybody coming in. Daisy, all my members that are coming in. Thank you guys. It's becoming a little too much. Justice has been served. I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, what? Then you have people saying that, let's see, what are some other ones? Uh um that the FBI picked up Nazir. Did they? And that people are setting the record straight. Are they? Okay. So it's like little things like that that it just kind of it just gets to me because if this was one of your own, if this was your family, if this was your child, this is the kind of like you got to understand, yo. Is this the way you would want social media to treat your family or to talk about your case or to look at you or to like I just don't get it. Hey, Lysandra, welcome guys. Welcome everybody that's coming in. And I know I just started, but it's to say it's just for this one, it's just so crazy to me because then there was let me see what else. Aside of the fake mug shots, there's just been so many other things that I just don't even know. Like, you can't make this shit up anymore. People are literally making up shit as they go. And the more clickbaitish, the better, because you're gonna click that link. You're gonna, as long as you as a viewer gives them 30 seconds of a view, that's 10, 11 cents of a view, right? Like that's something in their pocket. Bad apple, I'm not making it up. There's been fake mugshots of Dejanay. Fake mugshots. Yesterday I even talked to I know Danny Robertson talked about it on Truth Teller Danny. She talked about Gerardo's case number, and that I'm like, I don't get it. The media doesn't want to cover this because there's some level of secrecy, but yet they're willing to disclose a case number. This shit doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense whatsoever. Um, I don't know what else to think at this point. It's a new definition to a click and a view. It's like a click and a view and a fucking lie. A click and a view, and who cares about what happens to Shanquella? That's what it is. You got to understand something. At some point, it becomes, are you here for the truth, or are you here for the salation? Or are you here like, God, it reminds me of when, if you ever went to like the supermarket or the store, and they still have them. Why you had the uh the national, what is it, Inquirer. You had these like really paperback salacious magazines that would stand right next to the candy bars, and then like I remember one of those would be like so and so. It would just be the most craziest salacious thing. That's what YouTube is starting to turn into, in my opinion. It's starting to you just walk in there and you see all kinds of thumbnails that are pretty disgusting. I would think like, fuck, you think the family's not seeing this? You think the family's not like watching some of this, and they're not wondering like, why are you doing them this way? Why? Tabloids, thank you. Thank you. Why are you doing the family this way? They don't deserve that. They don't. They don't deserve that kind of treatment. This is a case. This isn't Kim Kardashian's and Kanye, where these are not celebrities. These are real people um trying to find justice for their child. Real lives. And it's gotten so, I just don't think I've ever seen it. Like, I thought I saw it all, yo, and I was just amazed. And you know what? I lost so much respect for a lot of these people that I once used to watch. I will never fucking give you a click and a view, ever. And I know I'm just this little channel right here, but legitimately, I will never give you a fucking click and a view. I was just like, yo, like some of this shit you can't even make up. Let me just tell you, yo. Cabo Six stayed and party in Mexico. First it was 4 days, then it went to 2 days. I was like, how'd you find that information? That they stayed and partied additional days after she had passed away. How? How did you figure that out? An inside source? Is that a source that the family's not aware of? This is a fucking crime. This is an actual crime. How do you know more than what they know? And why the fuck wouldn't this be reported, if that's the case, to the family over YouTube? That's what it's become to me. That's what it's become to me. Period. Right. I'm looking and I'm like, "Oh, I get it. The crazier, the better," right? Like, yo, some of this shit is like, it's just so crazy to me. And it's not, some people will say, "Well, you're hating. You're this." How can I hate on something or somebody that we're not the same. We don't report the same way. We don't talk about the same things. I don't care about that. I don't care about the shit that you talk about. I really don't. I don't aspire to be uh, a liar. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't aspire to report on lies or turn somebody's life into some salacious fucked up rumor. Didn't I see somewhere said that the 6 had chosen their funeral outfits before they left Mexico? Yeah. Where's the receipt for that, guys? Where's the receipt for that? Flash, Flash, look, look. What I've learned is that telling the truth and reporting as best as you can, and I know it's hard to believe, even myself, I have a hard time, because you do get tested ethically here. If you guys knew the fucking shit I could talk about a lot of stuff. I could release a lot of stuff, and I don't. For what? For what? For what? What for? I can do that. I could have put Gerardo front and center. Absolutely. I could have said, here and there. I told you guys I had some questions, and before I can proceed forward, I needed him to answer these inconsistencies. Yes. You felt like it was very misleading. Well, we're going to talk about that interview, Trick Mama. Shout out to you, by the way. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it before we get into this doctor, okay? How about that? Because it is the hot topic right now. Um, it's a lot of information that we just don't know. And my thing is like I don't I'm not selling my soul to the fucking devil for this shit. I'm sorry. I like to sleep at night. I think that you can really grow a channel without fucking up your soul. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody's life, and the fact that there's no ethical, no morality to it. I mean, I'm looking at and seeing these fucking thumbnails. Like, yo, who some of you guys just make up this shit. What do you know that we don't know? It's so sad. Ugh. Oh my God. I don't think I can do that though. That's the thing. It's like, I don't know if I can call out because here's the deal. What good does it do to even sit there and call out these people? Because it's kind of like, well, who's going to listen? It doesn't, in my opinion, what does that do for justice for Shanquella? Yeah, there's a lot of people that are driving the bus somewhere else, and it's unfortunate. But my thing is that as long as the right people are subscribed to my channel, as long as you guys are subscribed, as long as my members are here, my day ones, I got a really good group, support group here on YouTube, um, that got my back, and I don't have to lower myself. Could I get a shitload of you? Oh, yes, I can. Oh, do I have bills and things to pay? Oh, absolutely. But you know what? I don't plan to grow my channel off of that. But I'm just saying, yo, call it out. I see you. All of you guys are disgusting. All of you. And one day we all die. We all have to answer to somebody, right? I'm not the judge or the jury of any of these people. If you sleep at night, great. Good for you. But I'm not the judge or jury or anything like that. Period. Hey, Krista Marie, welcome, welcome, my love. Thank you for becoming a member. I'm just being real, yo. I'm not the judge or jury. None of us are. We can only do our part and correct misinformation. It's so crazy to me because even though people go and view the salacious stuff, they come over here to figure out what are the facts. They come over here to Danny Robertson's to figure out what are the facts. They come to the content creators to figure out what are the facts. So they put out this shit like, oh, there's a mugshot when there isn't that's been released. Oh, the doctor is only going to be fined and not face jail time. You don't fucking know that. You don't know anything. So yeah, get your stuff over there. But I'm telling you, everybody always comes over here or Danny's channel or who is it? Jane's channel or Sean's channel. These are the people that come all the way trickling down after shit hits the fan. I don't buy the bullshit. I'm sorry. I don't. And I'm not saying I get it right 100% of the time. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't. But I'm almost thinking if that was, I don't know Shanquella personally. I don't. None of us, I mean, I don't think anybody in the chat that's in my chat does personally. But we're driven because this woman needs justice. What happened to her was not okay. And this is the crazy part. What continues to happen to her right now on social media is still fucked up. It's still an injustice to her. Tainting her name, tainting who she is, using the wrong picture, saying this and that and the other. Like, it's still fucked up. It's still very fucked up. It is too much, Tasha. I'd have to agree. So I'm just saying, yeah, it's justice for Shanquella, but it's pretty fucked up what's happening to her even here, how people are tainting her image, the shit that the people are saying. And even if I'm not a fan of the Cabo Six and a lot of us aren't, clearly, we want to seek justice, like, don't fucking add more to the shit that isn't there. I don't know if these people partied afterwards. We don't fucking know that shit. Thank you, Real Tea with Krista Marie. We really don't fucking know. Do we know that for a fact that they partied and they went to go get drunk? We don't know that. We don't know that. So why am I going to add more or say that this actually happened? And if they did, what receipts do people have to show? What receipts? Did you guys see something that we didn't? Thank you. I wanted to say hello. Been watching your stuff all week. And I 1000 agree. Percent agree with you. Tell it, love. Thank you, my love. Thank you for the $5, my love. And thank you for becoming a member. We'll make sure we do some rabbit twerking for you. So yeah, tomorrow was the rally. We have to continue to talk about her, but we don't have to continue to perpetuate lies. We don't have to continue to perpetuate some fucked up information that's not validated. I don't like the Cabo Six at all. I don't I don't I don't know them and I don't like what they have done. Okay? But I'm not going to perpetuate some kind of lie that they got ready, that they picked their outfits for the funeral before they left to Mexico, that they partied 2 days after the Shanquella. What happened with Shanquella? What I realized is that some people have a way in which they report, which is like more reality TV ish. And so they make somebody's life a mockery, right? That if this shit was happening to you, you would be pissed. If this was your sister, if Shanquella was your sister, if she was your blood, you would be pissed. You would be upset that if somebody like myself brought it up to YouTube and made a fucking mockery and tragedy pimped her, you would be pissed. But you know what? I'm only this. Look, I got these people that support me. That's it. That's it. Period. Whew. All right. Let's get to this, okay? Let's get to the interview. You guys let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. Is this going to be, an interesting live, but I wanted to make sure because I got people that say different things here. In my chat, some of which is, if it's incorrect, I'll tell you I don't know that, or allegedly or whatever. I just want to make sure we're very careful. About 2 days ago, I had to kind of put somebody else in their place because they were coming for my members on some misinformation again, okay, that they heard on their favorite content creator channel. Some more bullshit that we had to call out, and I went off and said, we're not doing this shit. We're not doing this shit. And the trolling gets really heavy. Thank you, all my members that are in here. If you guys just, if a motherfucker gets disrespectful, block. That's it. You don't need to block or time out. Do what you got to do. Okay. Let's go ahead and play this.
That's all I got is our memories and this photo, my child.
Those memories.
These certain pictures make you cry.
These portraits.
Good memories.
Are what Shanquella Robinson's parents hold close to their heart.
She's on my mind. First thing I wake up in the morning, the first thing thought is in my mind is her, Shanquella.
She was a beautiful person on the outside, and she was a very beautiful person in the inside. She just had a beautiful spirit.
Shanquella's life and legacy now shaped by her final moments. A brutal beating shared on social media, a vicious death while on vacation with friends.
The growing mystery surrounding the death of an American tourist.
Just one day into that vacation, she turned up dead.
The FBI has now opened an investigation.
I'm raising awareness for Shanquella Robinson.
A horrifying story gripping the country. Cries for justice spreading online.
Shanquella needs justice.
And now Mexican authorities charging an unnamed U.S. citizen with murder, one of Shanquella's acquaintances. But still, the family left wondering what happened, who did it, and why.
The further mystery of this case is that the people that she was with when she died, they let leave Mexico.
I thank God for the 25 years that she were here with me, but I hate to see my child leave here like that, That was a terrible way for her to die.
What were her hopes and dreams? What were her plans for herself?
Well, she always said she wanted to have a successful business.
Yeah.
That's all she pretty much talked about. And she could do anything.
Yeah.
Anything that she set her mind to do.
That drive fulfilling her other passion, travel. Miami, Vegas, Jamaica. And in October, she was heading to San Jose del Cabo, Mexico, a seaside escape with 6 others.
She was very excited about it. She called me and I said, well, okay, enjoy yourself. And I'll call you by the time I think you've gotten there. That Friday evening, she seemed very excited about the trip, And she said she was getting ready to eat some tacos. They had a chef there. And I said, okay, love you. I will talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy yourself. And I never spoke with my child again.
Not even 24 hours after her daughter landed in paradise, Salamandra says she got a worrying call from one of the friends who told her Shanquella wasn't feeling well.
And I said, well, what's wrong with it? And he said, alcohol poisoning. I didn't know what alcohol poisoning was, But he said, the doctor is on the way. And I said, well, how you know alcohol poisoning if the doctor haven't arrived yet?
According to the police report, the doctor recommended that Shanquella be taken to the hospital, but the friends allegedly refused.
And I said, well, why you can't take her to the hospital? Take her to the hospital. And he said, well, they say you have to have cash money. I said, well, she has insurance. And he said, well, she need about $5,000 to be seen in the emergency room.
Yeah, and remember, if you guys have watched Danny Robertson, this part was a lie. She did not need $5,000 to be seen. There's universal health care in Mexico, which is when we had that interview with the doctor, the forensic medical examiner, he talked about that. That was a lie that was said, and he confirmed it as well. He said, that's not how it works in Mexico. You don't need to have it's very similar to here. If you don't have money, if you don't have insurance, you can go to a doctor, right? You get billed later. Obviously, you get billed a ridiculous amount of money, but you do get billed for it. Okay. Yes. Okay. And what part? I'm sorry, Brittany, vetted what? Please let me know what you mean in the chat. And please let me know what you guys think in the comments. And let me make sure I double check where are we at in our likes for this live. If you can let me know. Okay, I got 99 likes and we got 140 people. Can we get it to 20 more likes? 120? Please and thank you very much. It's very much appreciative. Feds operate in different laws. Calling them out will only give them views. Absolutely, Monet. Absolutely. Let's see. What else are you guys saying? It says, but it said right there, an unnamed American has been charged with murder. What part in Trick Mom? I think I saw your comment earlier too. You said the same thing, and I'm kind of wondering if you're talking about this piece being misleading, that somebody's been charged with murder, because I don't think that's. I can go back a little bit, but I haven't heard that quite yet. But let me know in the comments. Yeah, that the hospital 5,000. Yeah, that was a lie. Number one, it was a lie. That was an interesting number to come up with, number one, to tell the family. Number two, when we had the interview with the doctor on Monday, the one that was shown on Danny Robertson, I had to translate. He said right there, he's like, they wouldn't have charged you. Like, there's community health centers that you can go to, right? And then there's private care. She could have been brought to a community hospital and she would have been cared for, regardless of what pay was. And you have to understand something. This is an American tourist, right? So if somebody in there, and I'm saying we because he's, I'm Mexican, right? And that's my people over there, right? If we live off of tourism, you better believe that I'm going to make sure, as the person that's over there, I'm going to make sure that this person receives the best quality of care, because the last thing I need is for an American who's a tourist, to leave some type of negative review in my hospital. Does that make sense? So I kind of feel like this right here even had me thinking a little bit. Like, why? Yeah, the 5,000 is just such an off number. Right. 5 of them left them, and it was easy, and it was an easy grand. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like a lie by people don't know any better, right? They said 5,000 to install. They knew the family wouldn't send it. Shanquella was dead when Khalil called. You said it. You said it, my love. Well, and I'll say it too. I think she's been lying a lot in her content. But hey, who am I, man? I'm no longer her subscriber, so it doesn't really matter.
Soon after, another series of calls. Salamandra was told an ambulance had arrived, but it was too late.
They said that she was responsible and the ambulance was trying to resuscitate her. He said he was sorry Shanquella had passed.
He said it just like that.
Just like that. He wasn't even emotionally upset or nothing about it. And I say, well, it was nothing I could do. It's just my heart just crumbled, because I couldn't even get to my child. She's 2,000 miles away.
Local Mexican authorities later releasing the police report stating the cause of death as cardiac arrest. Salamandra says days later, the friends returned to the States after their vacation. But as the family grieved, Salamandra says she received a disturbing call.
I got a call from somebody, I didn't even know who it was. And they said that they was over there fighting that girl. And that's the way they left it, just like that.
So someone just called you, said that, and then hung up?
And hung up. So they was over there fighting her. I don't know why they keep talking about alcohol poison.
So this is where, and a lot of the confusion came about too. They said, how did mom know about what was going on? She said she got a call from someone who said that they were fighting her, right? And then it was my understanding that someone on Facebook, that this video had been around. And so then someone showed it to mom and let her know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. This is kind of how it went down.
Salamandra telling us she confronted the friends about that call when they visited her at home in Charlotte, North Carolina.
They was crying and say they never had a fight. They even sit here and say they was picking out what they was wearing to the funeral. They sit down here and we was talking about what colors we was going to wear and what we was going to do. And they sit here and say, pick out what they was wearing to the funeral.
Where did they sit down and pick out what they were going to wear for the funeral? They were there in North Carolina, correct? Not in Mexico picking out what they were going to wear for the funeral or partying after. Do you see what I'm saying? None of this shit is making sense as far as what else is being reported. She will never know the truth. They are going to spin their web of lies until they die themselves. Oh, Bobby, I really hope that that's not the case. The fact that they lied to her face, no, they lied. That's right, Chico. They did. They continued to lie. Yvonne just made up some. Yvonne said Los Cabrones 6. Los Cabrones 6. She just said that. That was a good one, Yvonne. Good one. Is there any trace of the money to the doctor, the police? I think that there's what they're looking at as far as investigation goes. When they released that PR, that's what they were looking at. But as far as anything, we don't know yet. Nothing has been released yet. But let's keep watching.
Quilla's family was making plans for her funeral. They received bombshell news contradicting everything they'd been told by the so-called friends and the police report.
When they called me and the autopsy came back, it all made sense.
According to the death certificate from Mexico, the 25-year-old died from a severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, a dislocated neck. There was no mention of alcohol or cardiac arrest, and the approximate time of death was at 3 p.m., just 15 minutes after the injuries.
What went through your mind when you heard that?
Oh, I couldn't believe it. We just got sick on the stomach.
Salamandra again says she confronted one of the friends who lived nearby.
They say Shanquella didn't die from the alcohol poison. They say she had been beating her neck. He broke out in a sweat and he came out of his shirt. He was sweating so bad. It's like it was eating him up.
But soon, another punch in the gut. Graphic cell phone footage leaked online appearing to show Shanquella naked, physically assaulted by another woman, while
Wow.
others appeared to watch on,
Wow.
even encourage it.
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
All six of them had an opportunity to stop that situation. Neither one of them didn't do nothing about it. Who gave them the right to take a life? He didn't give her no kind of care, no help. I can just feel her suffering, man. The last breath she took out of her body.
Ooh, I do not. Oh my gosh, something about seeing a grown man cry. I hate that. I'm sorry. Seeing her dad that upset just kind of that shit just gets me, you guys. I can't, yo. I can't. That's a great question. We don't really know who leaked the video. That's the thing that I think has not been established yet. So no alcohol in her system. So she was already gone when they called her. I'm so fucking mad, man. It just gets worse. And I have a feeling that as things are progressing, we're going to keep finding out more information, but we're not going to really all the way know everything.
It's hard, but I want the world to see it. I want everything to come out because I want justice for my child.
I pray for her family and I pray for justice.
That video sparking demands for answers.
I'm raising awareness for Shanquella Robinson.
Thousands of people across social media posting justice for Quilla and say her name, and hundreds attending her funeral in solidarity.
I just thought she would be burying me, not me burying her, man. When she came through the funeral home, I stood over, man, and I told her, baby girl, you would not die in vain. Daddy will get to the bottom of it, man.
Yes.
But that bottom is often a deep pit. Prosecutors in Mexico are filing charges for femicide, a form of gender-based violence.
The reality is it's a homicide case. And it doesn't change what you investigate. It doesn't change what evidence you need to convict somebody.
Mexican authorities issued an arrest warrant 2 weeks ago for one of the friends. The prosecutor in Mexico speaking to local news.
Yes. So here he is. This is Daniel de la Rosa. He is the attorney that would be charging the case, right? He's the one that filed basically everything that needed to be filed for Los Cabos. I believe it would be Baja California Sur. Yeah, where all of this would be tried. So it's to be determined and everything. Yeah. And we're going to talk a little bit about that real quick on the femicide as soon as we're done with this video, because it kind of goes along the lines of the other video I'm going to show you. And it's not very long, but it's very informative.
Responsable de estos hechos a una amiga de ella, que es la agresora en este caso de la agresión directa, porque realmente no fue riña, es una agresión directa que realizó.
But officials aren't releasing any names and no known arrests have been made. Investigators now seeking to extradite the person.
Trick Mama, there you go. Officials are not releasing any names and no known arrests have been made. Trick Mama, you had a really good question here about the aggressor. Something. I think I saw you here in these questions. It said now Mexican authorities charging an unnamed American with murder. No arrests and nothing has been made or named. So that's what I captured from this clip.
Of interest to face charges in Mexico, which could take a long time.
The Mexican warrant is worthless here. No sworn officer or agent has the authority to arrest anybody on a warrant from another country. So it has to be vetted through probable cause and information that the Mexican authorities provide to convert it to a U.S. warrant strictly for the purpose of arresting a person.
ABC News has reached out to the so-called friends who were reportedly in Mexico with Shanquella. They haven't responded to our request for comment. The FBI's Charlotte field office is also investigating the case.
What for you does justice look like?
Everybody's investigating.
For them to go back to Mexico and do their 20, 30, 40 years, whatever they give them. And they need to pay for what they did to her.
Next month, Shanquella would have been celebrating her 26th birthday. The holidays now especially tough for her family.
How do you want your daughter to be remembered?
As the person that she was loving, loved people, loved traveling. I hurt, but I also know that God don't make no mistakes. My heart gonna hurt, and it's gonna hurt for a while. But I know God gonna give me strength to get through it.
Ooh. Trick Mama says, no, Rabbit, go back to the beginning of the video when you're going over the water. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Just so I understand what you're referencing. The water? Oh, I think you mean over. You said the water, girl. Let me see. Okay, let's go right here.
Country cries for justice spreading online.
Shanquella needs justice.
And now Mexican authorities charging an unnamed U.S. citizen with murder, one of Shanquella's acquaintances.
Now Mexican authorities are charging, charging an unnamed. Hold up. I see what you're saying.
An unnamed U.S. citizen with murder. Shanquella's acquaintances is for justice spreading online.
Shanquella needs justice.
And now Mexican authorities charging an unnamed U.S. citizen with murder, one of
Now Mexican authorities are charging an unnamed person to murder. Trick Mama, but wait a minute. This. Hold up. Let's go over here. Let's go right here.
Change what you investigate. It doesn't change what evidence you need to convict somebody.
Mexican authorities issued an arrest warrant 2 weeks ago for one of the friends. The prosecutor in Mexico speaking to local news.
That would make sense, though. They're charging, but it's not named. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I hear it now. I hear what you're saying, though. But it makes sense, though, because they don't want to. It's unnamed for murder, but for us, it's murder, but it would be femicide over there. I know it's a little confusing, but it would make sense that it doesn't. There's no name to it. At least not to us that it's been released. You know what I'm saying? You said go back. You just passed it, but I guess I'm just trying to understand what is it exactly that you are wanting to hear. Tell me in the chat. And I can go back to it in a little bit. That makes sense. U.S. warrant needed. That's it. I got you. Okay, I see what you're saying. I wish they would stop saying friends. Yeah, I wish they would stop saying friends. She said so-called friends since they fled. Right. So there's a part here. So I did, and I got to link this video into the description box so you guys can go watch it as well, because it's a very informative interview here. Okay. We talked a little bit about we talked about a lot of things with this doctor, but specifically like the reporting, the processes, things like that in Mexico. This man knows, this man wrote 8 textbooks or books or whatever, very qualified. He's done autopsies. He understands how the investigative process is supposed to happen in Mexico. So he's like completely well-versed, and he's been very vocal in saying that everybody failed Shanquella. You had the Cabo Six that fucking murdered her, right? But everybody failed. Mexico failed Shanquella, and he has said it very vocally. So I kind of want to play a little bit of what I translated, but I'm going to ask you guys, go and watch this interview. Again, this is from the Truth Teller Danny channel, okay? Truth Teller Danny channel. Let me right here. If you guys have seen it, let me know. But this is a really, and it's like a 2-3, I think it's 3 parts that Danny did on this because it was a 4-hour interview. But I'm gonna play it right around. See if I could play it here.
Ok. Se refieren al doctor no René, sino a la doctora Carolina Beatriz.
Porque, bueno, pero si el doctor René hizo la...
Tiene un apartado. Aquí existe negligencia institucional en haber sido permisibles en que los partícipes de los hechos los hayan dejado salir del país. O sea, forzosamente tendrían que haber investigado más a fondo antes de permitir que se fueran. ¿Por qué? Porque todavía permanecieron durante un cierto transcurso de tiempo en Baja California Sur.
Trick Mama, that is a really good question. By the way, in Mexico, a female can be charged with femicide. Yes. So in Mexico, it's not so much gender based, it's relationship based. In Mexico, femicide is looked a little bit different, and that is exactly what we talked about actually in this interview, I believe in the first part of Truth Teller Dandy. You guys got to go to her channel, watch the first and second part. I'll make sure that I link it into the description box because he explains it. In the US, femicide is looked as gender based, right? A gender-based crime. In Mexico, that's not at all what it's looked at. So this is why there's so much confusion as it pertains to that. But I'm so glad you pointed that out. Femicide in Mexico is not gender-based. There's a component to it that makes it relationship. Okay. All right. Let's keep watching real quick.
Y era evidente que había una muerte, y era evidente que una muerte podrías decir que es porque se cayó y se pegó en el lavamanos, pero eso no le consta al policía. El único que le va a constar es al forense y a toda la investigación conjunta. Entonces, de que existe responsabilidad del Estado, tan es así que en la entrevista que les comento que tuve la oportunidad de ver, y eso no solamente porque lo dice Gerardo Zúñiga, sino porque es una realidad. La información de este caso en especial no se dio el día de los
waiting a
hechos.
little bit, guys, so I can show you.
Se dio, él mismo
something.
lo dijo, 19 días después. ¿Por qué hicieron eso? O sea, no hay una explicación lógica para no haber emitido una alerta migratoria cuando sabían que eran extranjeros. O sea, no dijeron, pues vinieron unas personas, quién sabe de dónde serían, pero pues asumimos que son mexicanas y no les pedimos información. Claro. Tuvieron reservas en Airbnb con nombres, con tarjetas de crédito, con identificaciones, tienen una descripción de sus nombres al ingreso a la villa y saben perfectamente que son ciudadanos americanos. Entonces, lo primero que tienes que hacer como gobierno es darle el derecho a la víctima de la duda de lo que te está diciendo la gente y meter una alerta migratoria para que no los dejaran salir por ninguna frontera. Claro. Pero como la investigación siempre es lenta, pues no es importante. Por eso hablaba de discriminación. No es porque fuera afroamericana, no. Es porque aquí no se le da importancia a la víctima. Aquí pues se murió y listo, ya pues que le entierren y adiós. O sea, aquí hay que investigar a fondo. Tan es así que el 97% de los casos de los feminicidios tienen sentencias absolutorias al detenido. ¿Por qué? Por una mala investigación. Entonces, claro. El problema es que al investigar mal, lo único que vas a condicionar es que al detenido.
So I want you to understand something, and this is very important. I'm about to get to this part. Why is this crime being looked at as a femicide in Mexico? Thank you, Shelly, for the $4.99, my love. Thank you. Why is it being looked at as a femicide? The doctor here is saying that 97% of femicides have acquittal sentences. Acquittal sentences in Mexico. That right there is very concerning. This is why, as it pertains to the petition, this is why we have to stick to the facts. This is why we have to report factual in here. Why it kills me when I see a bunch of shitload of blogs making up shit as they go. Because if we don't stick to the facts, there's a high percentage of acquittal here. And we don't want that. So we have to stick to the facts. All right, let me get to this and then we will be done.
Le des herramientas de defensa. Es más fácil defender al culpable que defender a la víctima, porque el culpable se defiende con los errores que cometieron en la víctima. Y en este caso, todos los errores de procedimiento son en contra de la víctima. O sea que por eso estoy diciendo que la han discriminado, no por su color, no por su
I
raza,
will translate all of
sino
this.
por
Just give
el
me a second,
simple hecho de
guys.
ser una víctima a la que no se le dieron todas las herramientas necesarias para protegerla y defenderla ante su responsable.
The report itself should include the description of the corpse and body. The body is viewed by many people before it makes it to the forensic examiner's office. The report is sectioned to answer questions such as their injuries, yes or no, are there dead people, yes or no. The report includes an area where you are asked the description of the body, injuries included. The criminalist should mention the injuries as well as in the autopsy report. Now, I can say with all certainty that my thoughts are this. There was institutional neglect in that the people that participated in this crime were let go back to their country. They should have investigated further before allowing them to leave. They remained in Baja California Sur, and it's evident that a death occurred. They could have said that she fell or hit her head in the washroom, but that's not what we can prove. It's not confirmed. The only person that can confirm that is the forensics office. So does responsibility exist? Yes. The investigation didn't start until 19 days after her death. There was no immigration hold. They had their registration and identification. They knew they were US citizens. So the first thing that should have been done is given an immigration alert so they wouldn't have left. This is why I speak on discrimination, not because she's African American. It's because here there is no importance to victims. Victims are discriminated. The attitude is if she dies, you bury her and it's goodbye. In this instance, we need to investigate further. 97% of the femicide cases are acquittal sentences. Why? Because of a bad investigation. The problem is that with a bad investigation, you give weapons to the defense, to those that are accused. It's easier to defend the guilty party than the victim because the guilty defends themselves with procedural errors. In this case, all of the processing and errors occurred and are against the victim. And this is why I say that's why they discriminated against her, not because of color or race, only because she was the victim that has not been given the opportunity to defend her and protect her.
As a, dice que ya no tiene más preguntas.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So all of that was translated. It's a lot to consume. All right. So I wanted to kind of leave you with that interview. That is the last part of that. I think this is part 3, which concludes that interview. That interview has like 3 parts on Danny Robertson's channel on Truth Teller Danny. You guys got to go back over there so you can review it. Lead attorney didn't touch on any of this stuff right here. Nothing. And that's maybe he just doesn't know. I'm just thinking. But yes, you need to go back, go check it out. It's part 1 through 3. You guys have to understand it's femicide in Mexico. And what did he say right there in Spanish? And I'm translating it. He said that victims are discriminated against, and usually there's an acquittal for procedural issues. In Shanquella's case, there were so many procedural shit things going on that it's very easy for somebody to get an acquittal. This is why we have to stay on people's necks as it pertains to the petition, as it pertains to bringing up a voice and making sure we stick to the facts instead of this funky fucking misinformation from these bloggers that are running shit mouth and they don't even know this to be factual, half of the shit that they report. So this is why I get on that. And it does upset me because we're getting caught up on some lies that we can't confirm. Nobody can. Stick to what we know, the facts, reporting. If you're going to report on facts, great. If you're going to report on reality TV and make Shanquella a fucking mockery, then that's you. but that's just kind of what I wanted to say. Make sure you guys check out Danny Robertson. I got to head out because I got Baby Bunny over here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm going to do some rabbit twerking before we head out. Let's do that. And thank you so much for the super stickers and the new members. This is for you. Woo! Okay. I think I kind of went off a little bit, just a little bit. All right, guys. I have to head out, but I want everybody to have a great night. You guys have a great weekend. We'll be back tomorrow on some other content that we got going on. But thank you guys for joining me tonight. Rabbits out, and welcome to the new members. And thank you for the super stickers. Bye, guys. Rabbits out.